Okay, welcome to another edition of Lion News. Lion News can be found at lionnews00.blogspot.com. Today is Wednesday, February 2nd, 2011. What are we going to talk about today? Well, we're going to continue with the information we've been giving about how cops are professional liars. Okay? Remember, I told you that they're trained in the Reed technique of interrogation, in which they falsely accuse people and they fabricate evidence against individuals. And that cops can and will lie under oath. So the important thing is to refuse to remain refuse to talk to these professional liars, and refuse to remain silent about the trained liars' techniques, and refuse to give automatic credibility to the trained liars. All right. So what are we going to? The best thing we can do is apply this to an example. All right. And the example we're going to apply it to is this guy right here, Senator Bill Ingebrigtsen. All right. And who is this guy? Well, he is a retired Douglas County Sheriff from Alexandria, Minnesota. All right. And what happened was he was driving around illegally with dealer in transit plates there. Now these plates are only for dealers to take cars from the dealership to an auction, from the auction back to the dealership, from dealership to dealership, or dealership to a customer's place. They are not supposed to be used for loaner cars. All right? But he was driving around Alexandria with this vehicle with illegal plates on. All right, now what's supposed to happen is, if the police catch you doing this, they're supposed to stop the car, confiscate the plates, either destroy the plates or return the plates to the state. They are not supposed to allow you to drive the vehicle anymore. All right, but that's what happened. The Alexander police, were a bunch of political whores and let him get away with, breaking the law. All right. So, what's going to happen is that in order to get away with it, they need to come up with some sort of excuse. All right, they're gonna have to come up with some tactics to get out of this situation. Okay, and the best is to play dumb. Okay, so what they'll do is they'll go, "Oh, that was illegal? I didn't know that." Okay, remember, cops are trained in the law, so there's no excuse for them to say that it's not illegal. But you hear it all the time. "Oh, I didn't know that was illegal." Or, "I don't know." They didn't know that that was illegal. Or, they're confused about the facts. Or, they just don't remember. See? Now, if you would try to use these excuses with the cops, would they fly with them? No. They wouldn't believe you in the slightest. All right? And so what happens is that they aren't going to believe your excuse if it's illogical, fantastic. I mean, like, say the space aliens, told you to do it. It's incoherent. I mean, doesn't make any sense at all. It's negated by common knowledge, or you're coming up with an excuse in bad faith. Okay? Now, the amazing thing is, these are the exact same kind of excuses they will give you. Okay? They'll be completely illogical, completely ridiculous, completely incoherent, completely negated by common knowledge, and completely brought in bad faith. All right? See, because again, they're professional liars. They have no problem lying right to your face. All right? And the reason why they do that is because if you have if they've done studies and they have found if you have an excuse, most people will believe you. If you have an excuse, it doesn't matter how ridiculous it is. All right? And here's the experiment right here. I'll let you read it so we can keep on zipping along with this. All right? So what they need to do is hope you are dumb enough. You're either, again, one of the insane, the stupid, or agenda-driven, shit for brains. They're going to believe whatever kind of nonsense comes out of their mouth. All right? So, with all that okay, let's go back up just a little bit here. And remember, police officers' reports sometimes omit essential information, and follow-up investigative interviews by prosecutors frequently fail to discover it. Okay? And use of arrest reports in criminal cases. Arrest reports are almost always one-sided. Okay, so with that in mind, remember, Bill Ingebrigtsen is going to tell a one-sided story that leaves out essential information that is going to be either illogical, fantastic, incoherent, negated by common knowledge, or brought in bad faith. All right? So now watch what he says here and see if all these things don't pop into play.
There he is. There he is driving it. There he is. Right there. See him? There he is. See it? Lee Motors there. There he is. Care to answer any questions? Yeah, isn't that amazing how ignorance is a perfect defense for you but not for me?
What would you like answered?
Well, what are you doing driving this car around?
I'll tell you exactly what I was doing.
Go ahead. Back away from me.
I've never lied to anybody about anything.
Okay.
I'm certainly not going to lie to you.
Sure.
Obviously, you don't like that I won my election. Is that correct? Or the Republicans won?
Why don't you cut to the chase?
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
No, I'm asking you a question. Is
Okay.
that right?
I won't edit it. I promise you that.
I called here for an appointment for my wife's car a month ago to get a thermostat. Right? So they had the thermostat came in Friday. So I had to get this done. So I came in. I said, how long is it going to take? 2 hours. Oh, we'll give you a loaner car. I said, I got a couple meetings down at Travelers Inn. That's what I did.
Okay.
This is the loaner car that was given.
I bet you'll look at the plates a little more careful next time.
You know, quite frankly, I didn't look at the plates because I assume that's what they do, and I know they do that for a lot of people.
Well, they're going to have to change their practice, aren't
And I
they?
think if you go down the street here to the old Steinbrings, you'll find the same kind of policy there.
Okay.
Maybe you should go
They're
follow
going to have to change their policy.
Maybe you should follow some of those people around.
Okay. See, we could see all those kind of, what's this got to, what is Bill's excuse got to do with him driving in dealer in transit plates? Okay? It doesn't matter whether they gave him the car or not. See? Because he's responsible because he's the one driving it. See? And he said he didn't look. Because he assumed that they had checked it for him. Okay? That doesn't fly if you're driving around illegally, does it? No, of course it doesn't. See? So, again, they got to come up with all these ridiculous excuses. They don't have to make sense. I mean, they're completely illogical, completely fantastic. They don't make any sense. They're negated by common knowledge, and they're made completely in bad faith. See? Like I said, all he had to do was just take the ticket. Okay? Let him confiscate the car. Let him destroy the plate. Let him return the plate to the state. See? But no, he couldn't do that. He had to maintain this image that he was perfect. See? Remember? Because the story has to be one-sided. It omits essential information. So he looks perfect. The police officer's report looks perfect. Bill Ingebrigtsen is just falling back on his training. Making sure everyone thought he was perfect. The perfect cop. Alright? Who never gets anything wrong. See? But he was omitting essential information that proved he was guilty. But see, he didn't care. He was just hoping that Judd was dumb enough to blindly believe whatever he said. Okay, no matter how illogical, fantastic, incoherent, or ridiculous it was. See? Because his agenda was to escape responsibility. See? But what's when Bill was the sheriff? Oh, he wanted to make sure you were responsible. See? So we got two different sets of rules here. One for Bill Ingebrigtsen, former sheriff, current senator, and one for Judd. See? And again, you noticed that Bill Ingebrigtsen got defensive. He wanted to change the subject and wanted to accuse Judd of being an agenda-driven person, just following him around because he didn't like the Republicans. Okay? Judd doesn't like the Republicans, but that wasn't the point. It wasn't he saw Bill Ingebrigtsen driving around and goes, oh, he's a Republican, I'm follow him around and film him. No. He saw someone illegally driving around in a vehicle. That's why he got his camera and filmed him. Okay? And that's why Bill Ingebrigtsen wanted to keep on changing the topic. See? So that's what they want to do. They want you to focus on the sheepskin instead of the wolf. Okay? Bill Ingebrigtsen's the wolf because he's breaking the law. But Bill Ingebrigtsen wants you to go, oh boy, everyone else does it. See, that's the sheepskin right there. And I assumed that Lee Motors did it. Again, the sheepskin there. See, I'm not to blame. See? So, you got to remember, when you're dealing with these professional liars, that you shouldn't trust anything that comes out of their mouth. All right? Because that's what they do for a living. Whether they're politicians or police, they're all a bunch of political whores that are only concerned about their reputation and not about the facts. See? Because as Senator Bill Ingebrigtsen, he's trying to get out of a ticket. He was willfully breaking the law. And he fell and he relied on the political whores called the Alexandria Police Department to cover up his crime. See? Another batch of political liars. Or professional liars. So they had no problem covering it up for him, letting him get away with crimes, because they're all a bunch of political whores, and they're all professional liars, and they're all crooked from the word go. Okay? Because they all believe in justice for themselves, not anyone else. And it's no different if you report this to, like, here, say, Bill was a lawyer and you reported it to the Lawyers Professional Responsibility Board, they'll come up with illogical, fantastic, and incoherent excuses to get him out of it there too. See? Because you know that I called up the Senate Board on Ethics and reported him. And they didn't seem like they were too interested in looking into anything that Bill did in regard to the dealer in transit plate. No. I haven't heard back from them at all. See? Because they all look out for themselves. They're concerned about justice. They're concerned about just themselves. See? So this is what a political whore looks like. This is what a professional liar looks like. This is what a person looks like who is not concerned about justice. See? Because that's what he's going to say to try to get out from under an obvious criminal act that he was involved in. See? Because the reality is, the facts are, he was driving the car, he's not supposed to drive it with those plates on, yet he was caught in the act. Alright? So, again, I don't know why, no one in their right mind should be trusting any police officer or any politician because they're nothing but political whores and professional liars. Okay, thank you for your time.